Hello, welcome to our podcast, Lights, Camera, Conversation, all about the Oscars. I'm Maddy and I'm joined with...
I'm David.
Let's get started.
So, headlines are, biggest headline is Oppenheimer won most awards, the big ones as well. So yeah, Oppenheimer's best film. Did you see it, Maddy? That's a good question.
I've actually not seen Oppenheimer, and my mum actually said yesterday, I think, that she was like, I don't understand why it's got all these awards because it's not that good.
Oh, right.
She didn't think it was that good.
Interesting.
So I've actually not seen it, no. I probably do need to.
I've seen it twice. I saw it at cinema and I saw it recently as well. It did have more impact watching it big and loud in the cinema. I think it's a film that the Academy definitely like. It's a period historical thing. It's a biopic.
It is.
A lot of people say cliche. Oh, it's a lot of people talking in rooms, which kind of is. But it's a very interesting structure of kind of the three acts. But yeah, it's very well done and very well, obviously, written, directed, and acted. And that's, it takes on to, obviously, Christopher Nolan won Best Director, which kind of best film and best director, I think, should always kind of go hand in hand. It always seems odd when a best film and a director don't get the same award at the Oscars.
But I suppose then if they want to kind of highlight two big films, then I suppose they could give one to the director and then a different film, give that the best film. But yeah, I get that.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan, I think it's been for a long time one of my favourite directors, so I'm very pleased that he won it. We're going on to next, the actors. Again, Cillian Murphy. I think he's been in almost every Christopher Nolan film the last 20 years, playing smaller parts, little bit parts, and now obviously been a lead.
Yeah.
He's very good in Peaky Blinders. I think most people would have, in the UK, would have watched him in that, as well as films like 28 Days Later. I think he was in the latest Quiet Place.
Oh, right, okay.
Don't know if you've seen that.
No, I've not seen that. That's a horror film. I'm not going to watch horror film.
Oh, dear.
It's too scary for me.
Well, we're not sticking on Oppenheimer. Let's say Robert Downey Jr. won the Best Supporting Actor. Mm-hmm. He was very, very good in that as well. Very unique style in Oppenheimer, where it's told from two different points of view. If you haven't seen it, it might help explain it. You might have seen in the trailer that there's a lot of black and white stuff. So everything from Robert Downey Jr.'s point of view, his story is all in black and white, and Oppenheimer's all in colour.
Right, okay.
Sometimes they're in each other's point of view, because it does jump between the past and the present, and it overlaps. So there's a lot of different concepts and mixing time, which Christopher Nolan always really loves doing. Yeah. So if that might explain to people who haven't seen it why some stuff's in black and white.
Right, okay.
Best actresses. So yeah, who won that?
So Emma Stone in the film. What film was that?
Poor Things.
Poor Things, that's what it's called, yeah. I've seen the trailer for that. And you said, did you say you started watching it?
I started watching it, to admit that I find it quite hard to watch because it's a very weird and unique style of filmmaking and editing. There's a lot of weird, wide, fisheye lens shots and lots of zooms. It's very, very abstract film. But the bits I kind of did watch, probably 20 minutes out of the 2.5 hours, flick through it. A very interesting opening section where, because it's like a Frankenstein story, like she's been brought back to life as an adult. So she starts off adult-sized body, but for the first part of the film, she's a child. She's very good at kind of being a child in an adult's body and her behaviour and everything she does. And she's very awkward, even when she does get older socially, because she just says it how it is and she's very rude. But that's to the humour of it.
Has she won an Oscar before?
I think she won for La La Land.
Yeah, I was going to say, because, La La Land was a great movie, so that did really well at the Oscars, didn't it?
It's like, segue, like, who else was in La La Land?
Ryan.
Mr. Ryan Gosling, who? He performed the I Am Ken live, which was quite an interesting performance, I thought.
Yeah.
Very Pink. I think it's Slash.
What a great song.
Slash playing solo guitar in there.
Oh, yeah. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I think Mark Ronson as well was also playing part of that live thing.
Nice.
And it looked like, Ryan Gosling was absolutely loving performing that in front of...
He loved playing that part though, didn't he? He loved being in Barbie.
I've not seen Barbie, but you have.
Oh,
so
you've not seen it? Yeah, I did. I went to the cinema to watch it. Yeah, I mean, personally, I thought Margot Robbie was the best in the film. I thought she was great. Her acting's always really good in everything. But yeah, Ryan Gosling, like, also good. Like, I've seen most films that he's done. I think he's okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think, like, if anyone was in that part, then they probably would have kind of brought something to that role, because it's probably more how it was, like, written and things than acted in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he does. I think he does a lot of drama, but I think he's really good in comedy. Obviously, Barbie show. He's in the Nice Guys. He's in is it the Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy coming out in a few months about a stunt actor, a stunt guy who ends up being kind of moonlighting as a bounty hunter. Me and Sam chatted about that recently.
That's a remake. Did you know that?
No.
Of a 1981 film, The Fall Guy, I think, or 1980s, I think.
Oh, right.
But yeah, that's a remake of a film.
Oh,
So I only just found that out today. But
oh, okay. Ooh, yes. Is that something you think you'd go and see?
it sounds quite good, to be fair. I think it sounds interesting. So yeah, maybe.
Nice. Let's bring it back to best supporting female. Was things that Davine Joy Randolph for the Holdovers, which again I've not seen.
No, I've not seen that.
It was nominated for a lot of categories, I think, but didn't win the big ones. But obviously the biggest one did win was this supporting actress one. Yeah, I mean, the fact that neither of us have seen that film. I mean, there is a lot of films nominated, so we'll just skip over that. But obviously that's very good for her, and that kind of leads on to kind of anyone who's been nominated, even nominated rather than just win. It kind of elevates them, doesn't it, a bit in how they get cast and stuff. They're more on top of lists.
But I feel like a lot of films this year have been overlooked because of Barbie and Oppenheimer, because they were kind of the two big films, weren't they? So I feel like I've not even heard of The Holdovers. Like, I've not even heard of, like, some of the other films that have been, like, nominated, because there's just been so much talk about Oppenheimer and Barbie, and there's been that whole thing about that. So I feel like, I'm sure a lot of the other films are great, but I've not even, like, heard of them.
Because usually awards season, which starts from, like, Golden Globes to the Oscars, like, January till now, films that kind of the producers think they're going to do well, they kind of release those in, like, December, January, so people remember them. Obviously, Barbie and Oppenheimer got, like, the most nominations. They came out last July.
They were in the summer,
on the same day.
Yeah.
And the fact that two kind of summer films were nominated. Obviously, Barbie didn't win anything, but the fact it was nominated and it was a film based on a doll.
Yeah.
Is kind of shows a very high regard, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it was nominated, for costume, hair, makeup, production design, but that all went to the Poor Things, which does look very, very, very good. So, well deserved. Poor Things.
Yep.
Another interesting one I was very glad. Hayao Miyazaki won for The Boy and the Herring. It beat quite a few other films, which done well. Did a lot better commercially. An interesting stat here that The Boy and the Heron was the first 2D film to win the Best Animated Feature.
Wow. What's they normally the 3D ones that win then?
Yeah, it's
right. Okay.
I think they've only done it for like 20 odd years, and basically only the Pixar, Disney.
Oh, I see. Okay,
and the odd DreamWorks one over one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Ones. Yeah. I don't know I can't remember if it's Cross Spider-Verse one won it at all.
Right. Has Madagascar ever won an Oscar?
I don't know.
Need to Google that one.
Is Madagascar going to win any Tony Awards for the musical?
I don't know. It got quite good reviews. Like, all the reviews were like 5 stars.
Well, what's your review of the Madagascar the musical?
Oh yes, I went to Madagascar the musical the other week. It was very much like a kids show, and I think it probably would have worked better as a panto. So I think there was a lot of times where they could have like spoken to the audience and things, and yeah, it definitely would work better as a panto. But it was good. Like, the acting was already good, the singing was good. It was literally just the movie in a musical form. Like, it was the same. I mean, they added lots of songs because obviously there isn't singing in the animation, but so yeah, they added some loads of songs and things, but all the lines that they were saying was pretty much the same as in the movie. So it was just the movie with some songs on a stage, but it was good.
Has this show been like Broadway, off Broadway?
Yeah, it was on. I'm not sure. It was definitely. Well, it's touring at the moment, so I don't know where.
Because
that
usually
started.
it usually shows start off like
Yeah.
on or off Broadway, and then once they've exhausted that, they tour around.
I presume that's what's happened. Yeah, it was because I remember seeing about it like ages ago, and then I was like, oh no, it's on tour, so it must have started somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like Hamilton now is touring,
Yeah.
but for like 10 years or so, it was just in one theatre in London, and then they're like, okay, the numbers are going down. Let's take it around the country rather than everyone coming
I
central
see,
London type of thing.
So Hamilton over the last few years has got like a lot of hype, I think, like more recently. So like, I feel like 10 years ago was it still like a big thing? I feel like more recently it's been like, oh yeah, Hamilton, that's great. So maybe that's why they're touring, because then lots of people can see it. 'Cause I know it's going to Manchester, isn't it? So that's kind of...
Yeah, because not everyone wants to or able to or afford to like go to central London
Yeah.
and to see a show, especially if it's in the evening. You have to stay over. So it's kind of good. I don't know. Somehow we ended up on talking about musical theatre and West End now after the Oscars. Well, still sticking with songs and music, Billie Eilish won Best Original Song for a song for Barbie.
Yeah.
But I think that's really... I always think that's really weird when they just an artist or a band make a song that they just put the end credits.
But was it written specifically for Barbie?
Yes, like they like got paid her to write and sing
So
it.
I suppose that's...
But it's nothing to do with... It doesn't enhance or show the story. When I Am Ken
No, yeah.
is in the story and part of the character,
Yeah.
that counts for a lot more than just something tagged onto the credits.
Yeah, I get that.
So she's won it twice. Didn't she win it for James Bond's No Time to Die?
Yes.
Maybe. So she's won 2 Oscars.
Yes,
Again,
yes, yeah.
but at least that was the opening sequence. And obviously in James Bond films, the opening title sequence is always a really, really big thing.
Yeah, that's
That
what I did
counts
my
more.
dissertation on
Tell me
at
more.
uni. Well, that I made... Well, we had to like create something because I was doing like animation and motion graphics. So I made the title to a new Bond film. So I made up the Bond film and then made an opening title to that.
Do you remember what your Bond film was called?
Scorpius.
Wow.
Yeah. So obviously we had Skyfall, Spectre, and then the next one would have been Scorpius.
Oh, Barbara Broccoli. You just remember that name.
Barbara Broccoli.
She's the producer of all the Bond films.
All right.
So, yeah. So.
And I had a female Bond play Bond instead of one of the male ones. So, yeah.
All right. Yeah. I think that kind of wraps up our Oscar reviews. A bit of a short one today, but we wanted to let everyone know what happened last night. So, yeah.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed it and hope you found out what happened at the Oscars if you didn't watch it. If you did, let us know what you thought about everyone who won.
Yeah. Catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.